The demand for UX designers in 2023 or 2024 or even this decade is just gonna rise. So in this video, we are going to talk about UX design or product design as a career in 2023 or in upcoming years. Let's roll the intro. So hello and welcome to the Anurag Ganguly Podcast. Here we discuss product and brand design, a lot about growth mindset and productivity. My name is Anurag Ganguly and I keep on making such videos, and if you want more such content, make sure you have pressed that subscribe button. So moving forward, let's understand what UX design is. So generally, a user experience designer is responsible to perform user research, create and test wireframes, mockups and prototypes. In this process, a UX designer generally communicates with developers, other designers, stakeholders of the project, or any sort of user that they are going to come across. This is all done to ensure that whatever product is being designed is going to help the users do a certain task. For example, in Uber, we go and we are presented with a screen where we can directly book an application and it identifies our location so that it is easier for us to select if we want to commute from our location to the destination location. That is how easier and efficient a cab booking experience is all about. But how does a UX designer stand out in the crowd? Generally, as a UX designer, you are expected to learn and keep on iterating on the theories about human behavior, psychology, how a user works, how a particular group of user would do certain tasks. If, let's say, a 20-year-old guy who is exposed to digital technology might do the same task in a different manner as compared to a 40-year-old person who is just getting started with tech. So, all in all, a UX designer is expected to come up with creative solutions for people, for human beings. The problems that are really complex, time-consuming, or money-consuming, or a combination of both. So yes, problem-solving skills, understanding the psychology is really important for a UX designer. It's not just about creating beautiful design or just creating out of the box, very good user interfaces. It's all about solving problems. In terms of technical skills, anyone who is getting started, at least needs to know what Figma, XD, Sketch is all about. At least some skills about using Photoshop, Illustrator should be there. Understanding, basic understanding of HTML, CSS and JavaScript. I will say it is necessary. Some might say that it's not, it's not needed or anything, yada yada, but I would actually suggest that this, you should at least know what and how HTML or these style sheets look. You are gonna work with developers all day, all night. So this should be a basic stuff that you need to get your head into, even if you're not gonna code, right? So now the topic is, how do you get started in UX design? Alright, so now we are just about to hit 2023. Coming out of a boot camp and getting into UX design, that's another fantasy. Let's keep that bubble out of this conversation. Let's be very practical over here. So let's say if you want to pursue a career in UX or product design, there are different ways, there are different numbers of ways to get into main career. You can join any cohort, you can go into any boot camp, you can join some college, or if you are already doing engineering or you have done, let's say, any sort of computer science in your degree, then you can step up your game and get into any internship where you can just learn about UX, because you need to give at least 6 to 8 months after your education to properly understand what the market is all about, what the industry is all about. Because UX is not about, again I'll say, UX is not about beautiful user interfaces. It's about delivering a good experience to the end user. And to know the end user, you need to know the research methodologies. Let's say if you're a graphic designer and you want to get into UX, but you don't know what HTML, CSS, how applications work, how websites work, and you need to choose any sort of learning method, and you need to invest your time and money to at least know what UX or user interface is all about. You should know what the human to computer interaction is all about, HCI as we call it. at least know what basic terminologies is being used by UXers all over the world. What kind of terms developer use, what kind of languages is used in this particular industry. It is very essential for a UX designer to have a good portfolio where they have written some case studies. The case studies don't need to be that technical because no one has that time to just go through and read every word, but it is always a good practice to include your design thoughts, your design thinking, what was going in your head, what the project was all about, what kind of problem did you solve. It shouldn't be all about one particular project. It can be all about modules where you have just solved a problem. Let's say in an application you just solved the notification center. On that topic you can write a case study and expand it. The hiring personnel or the hiring manager just needs to know about your design thinking, your research methodologies, what kind of skills do you pursue, how perfect you are in your let's say the wireframing to generating a mock-up, and yes, how good of a team person you are. As a UX designer, the career is rewarding, but let's forget about the fairy tale that people have already created a vision about. UX design can get really tough. The days can be really exhausting. There might be endless screens that are never gonna be used. You have to learn to detach yourselves from this kind of a loop, and you need to have a vision. You want to solve real world problems. Even a doorknob is an example of good UX. You should be ready to put in all that you know and to learn new things every single day, because every user, every other designer, every developer is going to teach you a lot of things. Your subconscious is always going to work. It's always going to hunt for researches even while you don't know it that you're doing it. All in all, it can be a perfect career for you if you are passionate about it. If you really are just looking on the outer side and you're feeling like, oh, this is a very shiny stuff, then my man, you are having a shiny object syndrome. You need to get out of it and just do what you are doing. But if you're serious about UX design, then dive inside and know how it looks like. So this is Anurag Ganguly and I'm signing off. Peace.